Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Tuesday, the 8th of June. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host today. In the news today, we'll cover off on the golf as we've got action from the PGA Tour, the European Tour, and obviously the major in the women, the LPGA as well. We've also got basketball action in the NBA and the NBL and news from the rugby and also the cricket. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And in the cricket, it looks like Trent Boult might be available for the second test between England and New Zealand over in England ahead of the World Test Championship against India. Trent Boult has managed to get out of isolation earlier and reunited with his team. So great news there, good news there for New Zealand coming off the back of that draw with England after they lost a day of to rain and couldn't bowl England out in time. On to the rugby, and an early call has been made about the game between the Rebels and the Crusaders. This game was due to take place in Melbourne, but due to COVID, has been moved to Sydney in the same as the last two rounds, where the Rebels played an away game against the Highlanders, who were due to play in Queenstown, and then last weekend an away game against the Chiefs, who were due to play in Hamilton. This will be a home game for the Rebels in Sydney, up against the Crusaders in what is a key clash for the Crusaders, and knowing that they will need a win and probably the try bonus point to make the final. Also, as they battle it out with the Highlanders and the Blues for those two finals places. Moving on then to the basketball, and in the NBL, we had one game. We have one game today. It's the final game of the regular season as the Bullets take on the Phoenix. That's at 9:30 p.m. Tonight, folks. Over in the NBA, and we found out who was the final team that will make the conference semifinals. The LA Clippers took on the Mavericks in their series. It was tied at 3-3, taken to that seventh game. The Clippers won it 126 to 111 to go through, which means that they will now be facing the Jazz in that conference semifinals. We've already had the first two games, both on the eastern side, as the Nets have taken a one-game lead over the Bucks, 115 to 107, and the Hawks, in a high-scoring game against the 76ers, beat them 128 to 124 there to take their 1-0 lead in that one. Today, the Nets will take on the Bucks in the second game of their series, and the Suns take on the Nuggets in their opening game of their series in the West in that one. In the finally, then in the golf, as we just round up all the action from that one, and at the Memorial Tournament after a playoff, Cantley of the USA won that one, beating Morikawa in the playoff there. That's the one that Dane Lee unfortunately missed the cut for the weekend, and also John Ram, who had a big lead in that one, a 6-shot lead, had gotten withdrawn for it because of a positive COVID-19 test. So everything going Cantley's way in that one. Over on the European Tour, and after 3 rounds, Armitage leads away at 8 under par. Fox is going well, tied 11th at 2 under par in that one. And unfortunately, with Gurney slipped back in that third round, shooting 6 over par to finish to 7 over par in tied 60th place. Gurney really a poor third round there, knocking him well out of contention, unfortunately for him. So we'll obviously bring up to speed with how the final round of the European Open goes tomorrow morning on the Morning Sports Briefing at 7 a.m. as we come to you every day. Over in the LPGA then, and it was the second major of the year. Lydia Ko had a decent final round to finish in 35th place at 10 over par, but the damage had been done in the earlier rounds, which is why she was out of contention there. Finally, in the playoff, Sasso took on Hatakawa in that one, and Sasso won the playoff after both had finished at 4 under par to lead the way. Sasso also, with that one, gains her LPGA Tour card, which she hadn't had until this stage. She was previously a member of the Japanese LPGA and in the top 75 of the in the world rankings, but did not have an LPGA card. So she has done now with the 5-year exemption, on top of the $1 million prize money and obviously the title as well. So congratulations to her, a massive victory for her in that one. Just a quick one this morning, because we have now started the day the best way up to speed with all of the important sports news. In that one, Paul Alexander having a quick chat there, saying that how wonderful it was to get over to the Blues game versus the Reds over in Australia, and how wonderful the opening Aboriginal smoke ceremony was, and what a great atmosphere. So obviously in these times of COVID, great to see crowds back and the ability to travel over to those games. Paul, the founder of Blue Supporters for Life Facebook page. So if you're a Blue supporter, do join that page. It's a wonderful place to chat with Blue supporters. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and Jose, hope you have a wonderful start to your week, as this is after the long weekend, and have a wonderful Tuesday.